Welcome back to the channel. We are out again today on what is it going to be hopefully a fairly glorious day. That has not been the case on the English coast for the last sort of 2 weeks where it has rained heavily. We are out at Ravenscar. It is what can only be described as a spectacular location as I look back across towards Robin Hood's Bay, and this is just the Robin Hood's Bay. It's a beautiful, beautiful location. We are also here because Ravenscar produces some spectacularly rare ammonites for the Yorkshire coast, because the upper layer sections that are exposed here have been obliterated across the rest of the Yorkshire coast. So we sometimes get these really rare things. I'm still hunting my first horgia, but we also get some rare things in those bays like the Grammoceros and other bits and pieces, which we'll be looking for today. We might be lucky. We also do find marine reptile bone. I've had a few bits from the last few times I'm here. Unfortunately, we are also here at the wrong time of year for everything. So the seals have moved back into the usual bay, which prevents us cutting through the bay on the coast, and the ferns have not died back. So to get down to the beach, we're going to cut through the ferns and deal with the high chance of ticks and potentially some adders. So that'll keep us on our toes. We'll be back with you when we find some things. One thing you can say for sure about Ravenscar is it does not do ugly. Even though it's slightly rough, it's still absolutely stunning, especially with that sea mist coming up over the top of the rocks. What a beautiful place. Now on the way down, saw a nice little nodule in the loose. So I tapped it, and a little Grammoceros to start the day. Surprisingly early in the start, but yeah, a bit broken. Might take the second half of it and stick that back on just to see if it completes. Might just about be able to see all the way along there's water running off the cliffs. It's because Ravenscar is, or has been, the wettest place in Yorkshire over the last month, with something like 10 inches, 25 centimeters worth of rain here. So that, combined with the big waves, is the reason we're back. We're hoping that something has washed out amongst all this terrible weather. But it does mean that a lot of the usual spots where little falls have happened, like in these corners under here, have all been washed through. So hopefully all out over there somewhere. So we'll keep looking. I'm going to just use this slab as a good example. So everything in the bedrock at Ravenscar is protected. So even though there's nodules aplenty starting to expose after all the waves, they are all protected. There's no point digging them out. It is illegal to do so. And most of them will have nothing in them anyway, but you're better off letting the sea do its work to dig them out for you and then picking them up loose. There is plenty of loose things at Ravenscar to pick up. You do not need to dig in the bedrock. So this is the usual dangerous corner, so I'm not going up in there because, as you can see, a lot has still come down. But some bits have washed down, and I'm a bit further down. So some big shelly blocks, kind of the same ones that you'd find in the second bay, and a Grammoceros. So these will have come from quite near the top of the cliff section here, which is a good sign that either there's fresh falls being washed around, or some of the old stuff that wasn't visible before has been washed around. So good for us to keep looking. Just picked up this one, which I think is just a fat dac, but it's quite big. So I'm going to take that home in case it's something more exciting. And as you can see, the water is still very much in where I am looking, which is all right. But it has just washed the things that I was looking at beforehand that I meant to pick up. So, another rubbish dac. There was a bit of an ammonite sticking out of that one, but also no good. So that's all you need to do. Plenty of stuff around. Just into the second bay now, at my usual lovely rock with a perfect seat spot. You can always find it as you come in, and if you're not sure which one it is, you just look for the really, really big ammonite. That's very worn out, which is a bit of a shame, that one, because it would have been gorgeous. But what we're also looking for here is all of the rarities that we might find, and there's been a lot of movement. This is about a foot higher than it was last time in terms of sediment, and I was pretty sure, there is, yeah. Can you spot the fossil? Here it is, little Grammoceros. There are some beautiful Grammo blocks coming out at the minute, and so two beautiful ones on that side, some big partial bits there, and they've come from another block which has even more in them, so I'm going to keep working and see what else we can find. Part of that same block has got another one there, some more sticking out the side, and I've bagged another section as well. So yeah, one big block was a stunning thing. And another loose nodule with, you can just see edge there and a bit more keel sticking out there, so that'll go straight in the bag, and some more nodules to hit. Just to give you a highlight of some of the stuff that's being left. So there's this massive Grammo, but not complete sadly. I've just split this nodule, and again there's stuff in it, but it's gone the wrong way. So whilst I would take that on any other day, I think because the bag's full of good ones already, they will stay. A lovely big belemnite sitting there rooting out, and just nearby a big chunk of uncertain ammonite. Some beautiful shell blocks. This one's got lots of decent sized ones in it, but not what I'm looking for. Needing some more ammonites. I've gone a bit sparse actually since all the Grammo blocks earlier, so just trying to figure out where they're all hiding. Still hunting a complete Holgia, another piece of one. You might just see there's a node there, and there's some bits down lower down, but incomplete, so not going to be coming back with me. Look at the size of this Hildy. What a beauty, but fully in the bedrock and fully protected, so it will stay there. It would also be a bit of a pain to get out, I suspect. If you can't tell, it's right underneath a big old rock. I thought this one might be another Grammo, even though we're back right on the edge of the first bay. Tapped it open. No, it's a pseudo-Lioceros, but very worn out. Not probably worth the effort to prep it. So it will be left here. Some more cheeky little splits. Little Grammoceros, a partial Hildy. Both of those probably going to stay here based on how heavy my bag is. Grammo would have come back otherwise, but got some better Grammos today. I just tapped a pretty ugly blue-white nodule just because I saw something a little interesting on the side. It was an ammonite, but it's not well preserved, sadly. Sums up all of the blue-white stuff recently. Just exploded all the shell off it, but quite a nice pyrite Hildy there. A game of spot, not just the one, but the many fossils. There's one in particular that I'm looking at though. Now, we'll see if we can get closer without falling over. Always a challenge for me. So, now that we're here, we've got a piece of Hildy keel, piece of what looks like Dactylioceros. But the one I saw was the one back in here, which partially beach prepped. Dactylioceros. That's a bit of a heartbreaking Phyloceros too. So it comes right down to the middle here, but I don't know whether someone's hit this and it's broken badly, or it's just erosion's got it. But I did think, was it even worth trying to just take it back this side and prep it down from the other side? I don't think so, but shame. I think this one might be a cat, but if it is, it's not super fat. It might just be a fat dac, as the joke always goes. But I think the bottom edge here is gone. But we might take it just to see. And annoyingly, there's another type of block that I don't have anything out of, I don't believe, from here. And I think this might be the pseudo-Grammoceros stuff. And I think that's what that little piece at the bottom corner is that's broken off. But it wasn't well preserved, so I'm not too stressed, just a bit disappointed. Still plenty of bits of Phyloceros knocking around here, but sadly nothing complete for me to take home. Yeah, a bit of a heartbreak there. It was quite a nice nodule, so I gave it a tap, and typically the dacs of Ravenscar don't split very well, and that would be one of the ones that did not split very well. But yeah, it's a shame, because it's quite nice what is preserved, or at least what didn't explode. But hey ho. Ravenscar is just a beautiful place. We are just about done, and I'm back at the sort of the beginning of what I call the first bay. It's been a pretty good hunt, if I'm honest. We've had quite a few finds. As far as diversity, again, we've had some nice grammos, some hildy bits, some possibly Dacker cat bits, some pseudos. We've seen pretty much everything you can expect in some form. Sadly, the rarer things have eluded us, or at least good rarer things have eluded us, but that's how it goes. Ravenscar is still feeling a little bit overpicked from the summer still, and so hopefully as winter comes in, we get more rain, more storms, higher seas, more regularly, some more falls will come down and more things will get washed out. But we will have to just wait and see what happens over the next few weeks, months, and through winter. So thanks everyone for joining us as always, and I hope to catch you in the next hunt.